Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, and today I'm going to talk about my 2023 YouTube and read. So once again, welcome back. I'm so happy you chose to click on my video. So today I just am going to talk about some goals that I have for this year regarding YouTube and of course reading in general. So let's get started. My first goal for YouTube is I would like to hit 500 subscribers. Maybe 1,000 if I could possibly be that lucky. I am currently sitting at around 160, which seems like a long way to go to 1,000. And it is. I'm certainly not discounting that. But if YouTube is anything like Instagram, where I have somehow managed to get over 16,000 people to follow me, once you get to a certain point, it just kind of happens very organically as more people are seeing your stuff and sharing it and liking it and whatnot. You know, it's much faster to grow once you've gotten to a certain point. So if that's the same, I do think that 1,000 is feasible for this year. But again, I'm just happy to be here. So that is definitely a goal, but if we can't make it, I don't think I'll be too upset. However, I would really like to hit 500. This leads me to my next goal, which is to post consistently at least once a week. So, you know, a lot of times my videos, I've just been kind of making them up as I go. When something comes to me, I just then film a video as opposed to trying to sit down and think of good ideas. And I would like to be a little more intentional about that. I would like to be posting regularly on certain days of the week. For now, at this point, I'm just kind of posting when I have content to post. And I would like to change that to be a little more regular, a little more predictable, so that people who watch my videos will always know what to expect and when to expect it. My third goal is one that you may be sitting there shaking your head, yes, Laura, please make this your goal, which is to make a better effort at scripting and editing and just generally getting better at that. Well, it's certainly not a goal that I can exactly measure. I'm hoping that it will just be something that I continue to improve on. A lot of times I'm just here talking out of my ass and not really planning what I'm gonna say before it comes out of my mouth, which, in addition to not being like the best way to make a video, also requires a lot more editing than it would if I would just take the time to plan out what I'm gonna say a little bit better. So I think that is definitely one that will be hard to measure, but easy to see when the results happen. I've definitely checked out different videos with scripting and exactly the words I want to say versus bullet points. And I personally enjoy YouTube videos better when someone is naturally just talking. So while I don't want to continue acting the way I did before, or I have been where I'm just kind of talking and making it up as I go, I would like it to continue to be a natural kind of conversation with myself on camera where, you know, it's not fully scripted. I'm not reading off of a page. This BookTube goal is one that's like maybe a little embarrassing to mention, given that I've been on BookTube almost 6 months by now. But I would like to make more BookTube friends. Over on Instagram, I talk to tons of people every single day. I have a whole bunch of friends that I have met several times in real life. I went on vacation with some back in October. I have a group of flight attendant bookstagrammer friends that I've talked to like every day for the past 3 almost years, and that I've met almost all of them in person at least once. But I haven't had that same experience here on BookTube, which I don't 100% know how to remedy. I'm not exactly the best at initiating conversations. I'm naturally kind of a reserved and shy person, but the internet is great for that because I can just comment on people's videos and, you know, maybe they reply, maybe they don't, but this is how I guess I'm going to attempt to make more friends on BookTube, because it really is so much about the community that I love about books, and like book social media, I guess, is the other people that you meet and that you can interact with. So I would really like to commit to just forging more friendships, being more active in the comments of videos that I watch, and trying to really form some relationships here, because I think it will help me both make better content, have more fun, and just in generally improve what I'm trying to do here. So my reading goals are pretty lofty, at least one of them, but I think doable at the same time. So I would like to read 200 books. This past year, I read 190, which was, definitely hard. I guess I was always reading at least 1 to 2 books at a time. But the number of books that I ended up DNFing was definitely high enough that I probably read, like, pages-wise, a total of 200 books, or at least close to it. One of my goals for 2022 was to DNF books you're not having fun with. There's no reason to keep reading a book if you're not having a good time and enjoying it. So I really made that something to focus on last year, and it really worked. I mean, you don't get through 190 books if half of them you hated. So I'm very pleased with that number, but I would really like to get to 200. And this year I am using Storygraph for some tracking. So this is gonna help me track not only the books I've finished, but just like pages read. So that some of those books that I did DNF can like kind of count towards like a page goal, which I don't really have, but still interesting to see come the end of the year, like how much did you actually read, even if you didn't finish all of those books. I would also like to read 1 nonfiction book a month. I'm definitely more of a fiction girl, and there's nothing wrong with only reading fiction. But I like to read to also like educate myself a little, and there's definitely topics that are just like cool and interesting to me. I read a lot of books about baseball because I'm a huge fan. That activism books really interest me. So there's definitely stuff out there that I haven't even skimmed the surface of yet, and I would really just like to do like 1 a month. And I enjoy memoirs, yeah. So I think this is definitely a doable goal. I am currently with my best friend McKenna reading Les Miserables, which is musical that we both just love, love, love. It's like one of my favorites of all time. And I played young Cosette when I was a little kid, so it's definitely one that holds a special place in my heart. It was one of the first shows I ever saw on Broadway. So we just love it, and we decided this year we were gonna read the book. In English, we don't speak French. It's long. It's 1,500 pages. It's long. And so we've committed to reading 100 pages a week and then kind of doing a little book club with it. She is not much of a reader, so this is really exciting to be able to do this together in something that we both think we'll love because we know the story and we love it. So it might end up taking us longer than 15 weeks to finish, but we are committed and we are excited. Currently, we are just about 100 pages in, so hopefully I'll have more to update with that soon, but yes, I am committed to finishing the whole book. The next one is going to be one that's not necessarily relatable to everyone, but I am lucky enough to get lots of books sent to me from publishers, which is seriously the coolest thing ever, and I've been on Bookstagram for almost 3 years and it's not become any less cool at this point. But I need to start requesting books that I know I'm gonna read and not let FOMO get the best of me. Because I have, over the past few years, acquired so many books that seemed like this could be cool, and then it gets here and it sits on my shelf and sits on my shelf until I unhaul it. And I just don't wanna be that person, because there's so many people out there that could be enjoying this, that could be getting this book sent to them so they could review it. And if I'm not going to review it, I'm not doing anything good for the author. I'm not doing anything good for the publisher. I'm not doing anything good for my audience if it's just sitting on my shelf. So I really just need to be a little more intentional with the books that I'm requesting and not taking advantage of these publishers and authors that are willing to send me copies of their books for free to review if I'm like not sure that I'm gonna review it. Obviously, there's gonna be times when something sounded really good to me and then I get it and I'm like, I don't know if this is for me, but I definitely want to also be much more accepting of just letting something go, and if I don't wanna read it, not to force myself because I got it for free from a publisher. You know what I mean? Just getting rid of it if it's not suiting me, because it probably will suit someone else, and we should just go ahead and give them the book. Along the same lines of that is being more intentional with my book shopping. So I am a flight attendant, so I visit a whole bunch of different bookshops all over the country whenever I can, which stay tuned for my next video coming up, which will cover all of my favorite bookstores in the United States. But I oftentimes go into a bookstore and say I have to buy something here because it's an indie bookstore and I want to support them, and yeah, I got to. And that's good. I, of course, support indie bookstores and I'm always in favor of book shopping. But the number of books that I have on my shelf that are unread that I really want to read, it's too many. So I need to be way more intentional with what I'm buying and not just buying it because it's there and it sounds okay. Yesterday, I was at Barnes & Noble in Philly where I live, and it's moving locations. So they have everything in the stores 50% off. And I was like, I gotta go, right? There's gotta be something I need for 50% off. And I walked around for like 20 minutes and there were plenty of books that I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this. This looks okay. I've seen a couple good reviews. Yeah, this looks neat. And I just had like a moment of epiphany where I was like, Laura, you have shelves and shelves full of books that you actively want to read, that you bought, you requested, and you already owned them. You do not need to buy any books you're like, this looks okay, just because it's 50% off. I don't know. I kind of had just this moment and I decided I really need to be more intentional with what I'm buying. I generally am a minimalist as far as things go in my house. Books are probably the only thing that I collect in big numbers. So I really would like to just kind of limit that. And, you know, of course there's going to be occasions when I'm see a book that I haven't heard of and it's on sale. Oh, this looks good. Let's buy it. Of course. And I mean, that's how we discover new books too. But I don't think I should be buying every single book that I think might be something I would like. That's okay. We need to focus on the ones we own first. And just because you're not purchasing a book at an indie bookstore does not mean you can't support them. I can take videos and pictures and post them on my social media. I can tell other flight attendants, oh, when you're visiting this city, you should definitely check out this bookstore. You know, there's so many things to do to support without having to spend money, and that's something I would like to focus on. So there you have it. Those are my goals for 2023 with both YouTube and with reading in general. I so appreciate you watching this. I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.